We've got to get away. We've got to run away.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the infamous and shocking times famous faces spoke candidly in public about or acted against problematic relatives. Number 10. Jeanette McCurdy on Deborah McCurdy. Bursting onto the acting scene in 2000, Jeanette became one of the most well-known child performers in the industry after starring in iCarly. Yet between 2017 and 18, she retired from professional acting. Later on, we would discover the heartbreaking reason why. Jeanette spoke in interviews and in her 2022 memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died, about the alleged abuse she sustained from her mother, Deborah. She pushed Jeanette into acting, living vicariously through her with Deborah's own younger acting ambitions.
I don't know if reality is mom's reality.
Number 9. Cole Sprouse on Melanie Wright. As one half of the iconic identical twin acting duo alongside Dylan, Cole has spent nearly his whole life in the limelight since making his screen debut less than a year after his birth in 1993. Yet away from performing, the home life of the Sprouse brothers was difficult.
And I think as I've aged and I've looked back on a lot of the circumstances of that entire environment, I see a person that grapples with mental illness, drug abuse, but primarily narcissism.
Number 8. Ariel Winter on Chrysula Workman. 4 years after making her big screen acting debut, Winter had her big break with the small screen's Modern Family. Yet in 2012, her sister Chanel Workman applied for guardianship of Winter after allegations she was subjected to abuse from her mother Chrysula. In 2015, a year after Chanel got guardianship, Winter was legally emancipated.
It has been very sad for me, but at the same time, it's been much better for me emotionally and physically.
Number 7. Christina Aguilera on Fausto Wagner Xavier Aguilera. Before she became one of the most talented pop singers around, Christina grew up in a turbulent household, which she has spoken about publicly over the years. Back then, she often moved around due to her father's enrollment in the U.S. Army. But on top of that unsettlement, Fausto was said to have taken out his issues on the family by physically and emotionally abusing Christina and other members.
A lot of times, even when you call the authorities, you don't get the help that you need.
The singer stated music gave her a path to escape the hard situation. Eventually, her mom and father divorced, but Christina has disclosed the trauma of that upbringing. Number 6. Demi Lovato on Patrick Martin Lovato. Since being a teenager, Demi has juggled the life of an actor and musician successfully. However, their relationship with their father Patrick has been less positive. Demi has spoken about the conflict within themselves after Patrick passed away in 2013. They stated that while he wanted to be a good man, he was abusive and he struggled with mental health issues. This experience led to Demi creating the song Father, which explored their mixed emotions towards him.
Sometimes I think I hate you.
Number 5. Britney Spears on Jamie, Lynn, and Jamie Lynn Spears. In 2019, news leaked about Britney's conservatorship. After she was put on an involuntary psychiatric hold in 2008, a group led by her father, Jamie, was legally put in charge of Britney's affairs. In 2021, after getting public support with the Free Britney campaign, Britney went public about the conservatorship, criticizing her family in the process.
It took a judge in this courthouse today less than 40 minutes to decide that Britney Spears' conservatorship was no longer required.
Number 4. Macaulay Culkin on Kit Culkin. In the industry of child stars, none have perhaps been as successful as Macaulay thanks to his success in the Home Alone franchise. Yet, away from the silver screen, home life was difficult for him and his father Kit. After his parents split up, a custody battle erupted between them, with Macaulay and his siblings wanting to be with his mom Patricia Brentrup. He then removed his mother and father from his trust fund to protect its large contents. Since then, he's been estranged from Kit.
He wanted me to know and my brother to know that he was in charge.
Number 3. Drew Barrymore on John Drew and Jade Barrymore. With father John Drew being a professional actor, Drew should have been protected when she became a child star after E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Instead, she underwent one of the most turbulent upbringings thanks to John's violence. When he split with Drew's mother Jade, it got worse for her. Jade was irresponsible and took young Drew to clubs often. This opened up Drew to drink and use substances. By the time she was in her early teens, she had been in rehab more than once.
And I felt bad for them. They had to take in this kid and they weren't parents themselves.
Number 2, Michael Jackson on Joe Jackson. While professionally he was the king of pop and one of the most celebrated performers ever, Michael's personal life was vastly different. In 1993, he was interviewed by Oprah Winfrey, where he discussed the methods of his father, Joe.
Were you scared of him? Very frightened. There's been times when he'd come to see me and I would get sick.
During the Jackson 5 days, Joe would watch them perform over and over with a belt in his hand. If he didn't like what he saw, he reportedly struck his children. Or as Michael later called it, tear you up. Number 1, Judy Garland on Ethel Marion Gum. Garland is one of the most beloved icons of the entertainment industry. Yet not only did the MGM studio allegedly mistreat her, but so did her mother Ethel Gum. From an early age, Gum was overbearing when it came to performing. As detailed by Garland to Barbara Walters in 1967, if she felt too ill to perform, Gum would threaten her daughter with violence. It's even been said that it was Gum who supplied Garland with substances.
No, I gotta sleep tonight.
Halpert will give you something for that later, down the hatch.